Give me this. Alright, I'm pretty sure this is probably what I got to see. I doubt they reworked this, but we'll see.
The storm is receding. The Reach is ours once again. Take cover.
Right, Chris disagrees with me because there's probably going to be some story twist, but I would not be super surprised if Stoneboy is the last boss of the expansion, but it's probably not. But they're definitely setting this guy up as a fucking chaff.
Is it the aspects?
No. Razageths.
Unless we're raising the Giga Dragon, which we might be. Yeah, I forget the name now. Is it beginning with G? What's the Giga Dragon called? Because that's what we're yeah, Galakron. Unless they're bringing back Galakron using Neltharian's fucking experiments or something, which they could do, but Stoneboy is... I only know the name of Fyrak because he's the focus of 10.1, but Stoneboy is clearly like Kylo Ren on steroids.
The last echoes of her storm are fading. She is truly gone.
We should be devouring her murderers' hearts.
Do not underestimate them, Farak.
See, I know I'm not a big story guy in WoW, but I have been following the Dragonflight story. I loved this. We got Razageth got her ass beat. Stop being such a fucking idiot. We need to prepare. Like, I like this. We're not just like, I'm evil and I smash everything. I am all powerful. I am the bringer of death and I kill everything. It's like, these guys are really fucking strong. Like, if they beat the shit out of Razageth, even with that stupid pushback mechanic, then we need to be careful.
Our sister's overconfidence was her downfall.
It gave me a Thanos vibe.
Aspect's power has waned. Their forces grow stronger. And we must even the scales.
I said in my video that this raid encounter, this guy is just Mr. Telekinesis. Whatever the raid encounter is, the raid is going to be picked up, thrown, tossed, slammed all over the fucking place. Because that's what this guy demonstrated in big, big ways. Like, the raid fight is not going to be like rocks and shit. This guy is just going to be throwing the whole raid absolutely everywhere.
They kept so many secrets. From us. And even from each other.
I'm telling you, like, just in this video, they show him telekinesing so much shit. Alright, so we're getting Jaina Part 2. Doesn't this demonstrate that Fyrak is clearly the pussy of the siblings? Right? Frost Lady is like fucking Jaina and just does whatever. Instantaneously freezes them, moves on with the day. Fireboy has to like hold on. He's like, okay, stay in melee range, you know. Just give me a sec. Chad. This is your raid. That's your whole raid.
Neltharian's betrayal shattered their unity. Left fissures in their hearts.
You know what I think? After talking to the guys who make the bosses and how they approach boss design and stuff, I really do think that they've reversed the situation in this case, and they thought about the rating counter before designing what the bosses do. Rather than them, especially because they're new characters. That's the freedom of having new characters, right? Is you can give them the powers you want them to have and how that's going to translate into the game. When it comes to like Jaina and Sylvanas, they had to like retrofit that Banshee shit onto her because like she didn't do anything. And then you've got a kind of like if you think about like a Smark boss, right? If you go back to like WoD, like what was the Smark at the end of WoD? Like Garrosh, right? And shit like that. Like, what do you do? What do you do with a big Smark? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Like, how are you gonna design a boss fight for a big angry muscle Smark? What are you gonna do? Smash. Yeah, it's like it's not a particularly fun fight, right? It's not a particularly fun fight. He goes smash, he zug zug. So we had like Iron Stars coming in and traveling through time. He's corrupted and all that kind of stuff, traveling different dimensions. So it's I think this time they're like, okay, how do we make a really cool boss fight, and let's put those powers onto the characters now, because they started doing that with the Sylvanas encounter. Like they recreated essentially the first cutscene where she threw those pillars and all the the Lich King pillars and shit like that. That was missed. Yeah, exactly. I'm just talking about a big smarky boy, right? A big smarky boy.
Yet the pain he inflicted.
Like this guy, you can go fresh and be like, okay, this is what we want to do.
The beginning.
Avarice. His hidden laboratory.
One last secret. Deep within the earth.
I'm never excited about frost
of
bosses.
Avarice must lie.
Don't do a
within this
slippery
vessel.
floor.
I will decipher its knowledge.
What use are Nefarian's twisted experiments to us?
The laboratory itself is of no consequence. But the molten fire that powers it, that we can use.
Keep eyes on them, Desrin. Whatever remains of Nefarian's legacy belongs to us.
That's a cool trailer. Looking forward to all those bosses. They should be pretty good. Besides the Frost one. Not too asked about Frost.